Alright guys, so we're here back at the live stream here at the UK Games Expo. I'm here with Alley Cat Games. We're going to talk about some of their awesome products and stuff that you guys have got here to show off. But first, we've got a little bit of a raffle to talk about. So you're going to see this Geek and Sun table here, this wonderful Geek and Sun table.
Yep.
This is going to be raffled off to one of our lucky winners.
Cool.
So all you've got to do to get involved with this is go on over onto the link that is at the top of every one of our live blogs. Follow over onto that raffle, answer a very, very simple question. I think it's about £5 to get yourself a ticket to get involved with this. And then at the end of this weekend, you could be walking away with an amazing Geek and Sun table. You're going to go off and do this right now, aren't you, Cesar?
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be...
I love their tables.
They are so amazing.
they're really good.
So you can play some of the games like the ones we're seeing here at home on your very own Geek and Sun. But yes, we're going to get stuck into these games and learn a little bit more about them now. So the first we're going to be looking at is this one here called Dice Hospital, which I've seen around on the show floor already.
Sure.
But if you want to take us through a little bit about how it all works, what it's all about, and we'll dive into showing off some of the components as well at the same time.
Sure.
So, go for it, man.
What do you want to know?
So tell me everything about it. So give me a rundown, sort of like basic mechanics and how it all comes together for someone playing the game for the first time. So.
Sure. I mean, generally it's a dice manipulation game.
Yeah.
And essentially the dice are your patients, really. Where the higher the level of pips they are, the more healthy they are. The lower it is, the more unhealthy they are.
Cool.
If they get down to 0, they might die. If they go to 7, so beyond the 6, they get discharged.
Okay.
And that's how you score your points.
Awesome.
So essentially you are using your player board, plus also any extra tiles that you might have that you have upgraded your hospital with to basically manipulate the dice. And the whole game is centered around you moving your workers, similarly like a normal worker placement game like sort of Waterdeep or Stone Age or those sort of things, where you go to a spot, you put it down, and it manipulates your dice.
On that thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The difference is that unlike those games with a typical worker placement where you're blocking off someone else, essentially you're doing it on your own player board.
Yeah.
So there is none of this cutthroat worker placement stuff where you go to a spot and you sort of mess around with what they were trying to do.
Screw someone up from their sort of plans and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Because this is a hospital. We're
working
together to save people.
Yes, exactly. But we are still competing.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yes.
To be the best doctors.
To be the best doctors and best hospitals.
There we go. Yeah.
Exactly. So, whenever you go to a spot, you do what it says on the tin. So, like, for instance, the pharmacy tile, that says, I can increase my green die by 1, and then it says it's treated by 1. So you increase the pip levels to by 1. That one goes up from a 1 to a 2, for instance.
Cool.
But there's more to it than just that, because there's quite a lot of synergy between the specialists, which give you bonuses, and the extra rooms that give you bonuses.
Yeah, I'm just going to go a little bit closer in so you can see some of these. So here we've got one of the specialists here, which is the microbiologist.
Yeah.
And they get these really awesome little meeples that have been cut into the really cool shapes, the boxes and stuff, which is really awesome. I really like that little touch. That's very nice. So as you were saying, these guys have sort of abilities on these cards that can help people in their different things. So this will do things with the green dice and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So you do what it says on the tin. It says whenever you treat a green, you treat a wild die of any color of an equal value as well.
Cool. Yeah. And so how many players does this go up to in total?
Yeah, it's a 2 to 4. Well, it's actually a 1 to 4 game.
So you can do the solo mode, which is really nice to see. So,
exactly. We do try and cater for solo gamers because they are a growing market that we want to cater for.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things we've been seeing when we're doing some of our shows, talking about the weekend and things. One of the big things that people talk about now is solo games, and so they come to conventions like this one, the UK Games Expo, trying to look for those kind of things. So Dice Hospital sounds like one of those ones to go down. So what are some of the like intricate bits, sort of like the deeper tactical things that happen in Dice Hospital? Are there some interesting sort of like things that people should know once they've played their first couple of games and they want to dive a bit more deeper into that kind of thing?
Sure. I mean, there are only 12 beds in each hospital, and you can never increase that.
Which you can see on this.
Yeah. So on the top row are the beds, but on the bottom row are indicators of whether those patients have been treated or not.
Right. Okay.
So that it's not 24, it's 12. So you have to be careful that if you take in too many dice, because you'll be taking in 3 each round, and there are 8 rounds, that you may have too many, and if you have too many, have to push away some of the patients.
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh dear.
So you have literally this life or death.
We have some crisis
situation.
of confidence going on.
Exactly. So we try to make it in a way where it really simulates hospital management, not in terms of pushing patients away, but like the difficulties that one would face with a bed. Especially in the NHS, for instance, where in some hospitals they don't have free beds.
Enough for everybody.
Enough for everyone. So you need to make sure that you are discharging. But the caveat to that is you can't do it in drips and drabs in this game. What you want to do, and this is sort of the trick to the game, is that you score the most amount of points by discharging a lot all at once.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's getting things into a combination where you can just say, right, and now my next turn, I can get rid of a whole bunch of the patients. And
right. Exactly. Yeah. And we give bonuses like if you clear the whole lot, you get extra points. That's very difficult to achieve, but I have seen it happen.
And so I was just looking down at some of these tiles here, and we were talking about some of these ones. And so these are upgrades to existing rooms in the hospitals, aren't they? So we see this one, I believe. That's
a run. Yeah. That's a run of dice.
And so does this go into the spot that is directed by the colour, or can it go anywhere?
Basically, you just add it on.
Oh, you just have to add it onto the side.
So whenever you get an extra room, it's literally an extra room. You're not replacing a room.
Oh, cool. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
and it doesn't matter where you're placing it. It's,
right, okay. So there's no sort of having to work out like spatial combinations and stuff like that?
I mean, we thought about going down that route, but we specifically made it so that it was a gateway-friendly game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And
so Sorry, go on.
No. So it's one of those things where all the sort of deeper mechanic stuff is built into the way that the dice manipulation works and stuff.
Exactly.
So you've got that thing to focus on and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we were thinking about maybe in the future doing something with the spatial reasoning, but right now, as it is, we wanted people to focus on the dice manipulation as the core fun of the game.
And so what's the status of Dice Hospital at the moment? Can people buy it right now? Or?
Yeah, so it's on pre-order right now.
Okay.
And the manufacturer has literally just finished the production run.
Awesome.
It's going to go on the ship in about 1-2 weeks' time from China. That will take a couple of months, and then we'll be sending it out.
Very cool. And so people can come and play this this weekend at the UK Games Expo as well. Yeah. So if you're coming along today or on Sunday, you can come and check this out and give it a go yourself. What booth are you guys at? Just so we can give people a little bit heads up.
Yeah, we're at 1B6.
1B6. Yeah. It's always interesting going through the booths here at UK Games Expo because it sounds like I'm talking about stormtroopers.
Yes,
CK421.
Yeah. I have heard that mentioned as well. Yeah.
And so you've got a couple of versions of this for people to go and sit down and demo and things.
Yeah. So we got 4 tables for people to play. We have the deluxe edition as well, which contains these awesome miniatures.
I'm going to show.
Might be worth actually zooming in on these.
So,
yeah, there we go.
Who would not want to come to this dice hospital? I'm not entirely sure that I would trust the doctors to begin with, but.
So we commissioned Jason, who's part of Painting Nights, to paint these 2 miniatures, so that these are a production quality sample of the ambulances.
Awesome.
They're not there for show because if you take a look closely, you can actually so the patients will come in between a level of 2 to 5, and then you can actually put them in like this. So that's the whole point of them, is that you're using them as the draft.
Now, I'm one of those people that likes putting little sound effects in my game, so I'm fairly sure I'm going to be like, Nina.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure
that's what we wanted people to do, right?
Exactly.
That's more fun than playing a game, right?
Yeah, I mean, so we obviously play a lot of war games over on tabletop.com, and definitely when you're flying planes around, you're like, so oh my god, these little tiny things are the kind of things that make games pop for me.
Yeah,
cool.
it just gives it that little bit of silliness, and we can all be children, right?
Go back to those days of Theme Hospital and stuff like that.
There were some strong influences there from when the designer pitched it to me, and he was like, I think it would look best with an isometric look. Obviously, we've gone with a bit more of a serious thing than bloaty head syndrome. I used to love Theme Hospital personally, but the only nod to it is the isometric rooms.
These are the kind of games that I very much enjoy playing. I love the idea of trying to work out systems and mechanics to try and make things work as a good engine as you're going through. Not to call a hospital an engine, I suppose, but
it's true. I mean, you are literally engine building through your specialists and your rooms, and we think it works really well.
And I guess as well, the fact that you've got so many different ways to build your hospital up on your board, you've got a lot of replay value when you come down to sit and play again.
We hope so, yeah. And also the deluxe edition also contains a mini expansion, which makes it even more replayable, as it has lots of other different ways. So you can take them to the drug trial center and re-roll the numbers, rather than just going up and down.
Very cool, very cool indeed.
Silly things like that.
So next one we're going to move on to. You may have seen some of these little tiny subs floating around when we were going on our close cam, but this is for a different one of your games. So this is for Pocket Sub. I'm going to show just. Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about what this game's all about?
Yeah, so I don't have the tiles with me, but
you can see them on the back of the box.
Yeah, so that's probably a better indication. Essentially, it's an abstract nautical game for 2 to 4 players.
Okay.
It's meant to be literally what it does on the tin. It's a pocket submarine game.
Awesome.
And yeah, you just lay out your tiles.
So show some of these off.
Yeah, you lay out your tiles, and then you place your command centers, which are your bases. You have these cute little wooden submarines.
Man, you guys are doing so many cool things with wood, with these little.
Yeah, we love them.
Stuff.
Our manufacturer does really great things with that stuff.
Yeah.
So we just thought, hey, let's do wooden submarines, as you know, from the get go.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's just about setting out your mines and essentially trying to not hit your enemy's mines.
Right. Okay.
So as the game gets longer, it gets increasingly more cluttered with mines, so that it becomes more difficult to navigate.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
So, and sort of, how long does it take to play the game?
Oh, it's very quick. Like
10
it can take
minutes.
literally 5 minutes, but it also can take 15 minutes.
Awesome. So it's one of those cool little games that you can sort of take away to the pub with you and stuff.
That's what we thought about it. Yeah.
We've seen a lot of companies going in this direction as well and creating smaller games as well, because the big games are fantastic, like Dice Hustle we've seen, but a lot of people want games that they can play in between some of the bigger games as well. So that's maybe something that people want to go and check out. So
right. Yeah. Cool. I mean, we tried to create a pocket range. So, for instance, our next game, that was our most recent Kickstarter, Pocket Farmer.
So I'll show this off here.
It's a little bit less pocket, but I think this box. I think we're going to reduce it a little bit more.
So if you've got some cargo pants, maybe you can fit that in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think so. But, it's big enough.
But yeah, I was going to show. So yeah, what's this one all about then?
So this one is it goes back to our classical roots of doing science themed games. That's how we started out, and essentially we are all pharmaceutical companies, and we're all trying to find the latest and greatest drug that will cure a certain disease.
Okay.
How we do that is we are drafting essentially chemical compounds. The chemical compounds have also been chemically validated as well by chemists.
Right.
So I've had 2 chemists who work in the chemistry industry to help me out. These ones are slightly outdated. They still need a bit of validation, but generally they are almost correct. We've tried to put the name of the compound just to give it some thematic taste to it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mouthful, some of those chemical names, but one bromo. I can't pronounce that.
I was going for it, but this, I mean, it increases your vocabulary when you sit down and play this.
Right, yeah, maybe. That wasn't our intention, but it was just
learning as well as playing. So
yeah, I mean, when we were playing it, it was literally just a number with a little bit of an illustration. Yeah. But then our playtesters told us that we wanted a little bit of flavour, so we thought, hey, we'll put in some chemical compounds. That's probably the best we can do. But essentially, all you're doing is drafting these, and you're trying to essentially create Rummy Cub style. And then once you've matched up to, for instance, what is required on these drug cards. So, for instance, that one would require you to have 3 of a kind and any 2.
Oh, I see. So you can see it indicated by the iconography.
Yeah, exactly.
3 of a kind.
So on the top, you also see these efficacy metrics, and on your compound cards, it will tell you how efficacious that compound is. So the more of that is good. But then the less side effects is also good, because each compound comes with a side effect.
Okay.
Which is on one of the other cards somewhere.
So you can dig some
the difference with most drafting games is, unlike most where there's a single metric, there are 3 metrics in here, which is the Rummy Cup style thing, the efficacy style thing, and the side effects.
Right.
So and in here there's a few expansion things as well,
cool.
Which makes the game a little bit more different. Whenever we do an expansion, we try to make it feel a bit different.
Very cool indeed. Yeah. And so I was going to go back to just what's the status of Pocket Sub at the moment? Can people pick that up?
Yeah, exactly. So Pocket Sub, the Kickstarter ended in March, I think. The Kickstarter for Pocket Farmer ended in April. Both of those should be coming basically just in time for Essen. Backers should get their copies before Essen, and then we'll have the rest of the copies available to buy there.
Wicked. And so everyone can, again, come and play these at your booth and check them out and stuff and get stuck into it. So once again, Matt, I'm just going to give you a little props for the card quality of this game. Even at this, because I love cards that feel good in your hand.
Yeah, these do feel good, don't they? Yeah, I'm quite surprised actually.
Very cool indeed.
There we go.
So now we're going to go to something a little bit different. So this one is called Ruthless: Legends of the Black Flag.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about what this one's all about.
So apologies, the box is a prototype.
It's okay.
It's not from the manufacturer. The other three were.
So yeah, dive into and get some stuff out and show what it's all about.
Apologies about the mess.
That is fine. This is what happens whenever anyone has to set up any kind of game on a tabletop. This is familiar to everybody as well.
Of course, yeah. It's just bundle in. Yeah, get it out quickly. So essentially, it's a pirate-themed deck-building game.
Okay.
I always said, actually, I would never publish a pirate game and I'd never publish a deck-building game because there's too many of each. And here I am with Ruthless doing both. Because I love the art. I have a good working relationship with Roland, who is the illustrator and the designer of the game.
Show that off under there. That is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, the box doesn't do it justice. I mean, the full color print of that is beautiful. I'm really chuffed with that. It's a great game, and obviously just like the others, but for my personal taste, I also really like Rummy Cub poker style games, which is also why I signed Pocket Farmer. Essentially in the game, we start with, just like a typical deck builder, a very basic
hand
deck.
Of cards. Yeah.
Exactly. And that deck consists of these powder monkeys, which basically give you the ability to brawl or bury. Everyone will know what the bury mechanic is in most deck builders, which is you get rid of a card from your hand.
It's a way of thinning out your deck, so that once you've bought a lot more of the bigger cards that you're going to be working with, you can then start to thin out the sort of weaker cards, like these ones, for example.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah.
You also get some coins to get you going. So there you go.
Well.
Yeah. There you go. That's a very basic deck, and that's how everyone starts. However, when you do start, you get the opportunity to start hiring these pirates. You can also hire a parrot if you want, just because it's thematic, right?
You wouldn't be a pirate without parrots.
Well, we had to have parrots, right?
And again, the artwork is looking fantastic.
It's top notch. Props to Roland; he did a cracking job on this.
Show those two off there.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, like a typical deck building game, we're going to have additional options and actions that people can go through and stuff like that. So.
Now, the interesting difference with Ruthless is that when you're playing the game, unlike most deck builders where you literally show your entire hand and you say, "I'm doing this," you get to pick the sequence in which you play single cards.
Right. Okay.
And each card will do something. So you're hiring the pirates for two functions. One, which is the actions which are indicated right at the bottom.
So back into this one.
So for instance, at the bottom, that one says on the left, you can choose either to plunder the treasure chest, which is basically just a random collection of always good stuff. So either a pot of bag of gold or a bottle of rum, etc. Yeah. Right. Or you can just go back and attack a player and take a coin from the bank.
Cool.
The attack is not like a take that thing. It's something small, which is a coin or a card.
So it's not one of those mechanics that's going to like disrupt too much someone's turn.
No,
kind of
exactly. So an experienced player will know that to basically bribe this sort of card, they need to ensure that they have a coin ready to pay them off.
Fair enough.
Money in this game is really plentiful, but you've just got to make sure that you buy at the right time. That's the critical point of it. And then at the end of each round, how you score the victory points is you just compare your pirates.
Okay.
So the ones that you've played from your hand or bought straight away that round, you put them together and then you make a Rummy Cub or poker hand style.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's simple as that. It's actually quite a simple game, but it feels quite deep as well.
Yeah, it's always nice to have one of those deck building games that kind of has some nice tweaks and twerks to it as well. So it's very cool. So
exactly, and that's why I was like, okay, it's not really a classical deck builder.
Yeah, it's something a little bit different. So you're okay with that now.
Yeah,
you can do pirates and you can do deck building. So
yeah,
I also there's a very weighty bag here that's got some cool stuff in it. So
that might be Roland's special pirate coins.
Oh,
so
do people get these if they actually get the game? Or?
We're going to potentially look at maybe having some coins.
Got the one.
Yeah, so that's a first player token we're potentially thinking about.
So you got some nice bling in there as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool indeed. And so what stage is Ruthless at then?
So similarly to Pocket Sub, Pocket Farmer, they will actually all go on the boat together.
Oh, right. Cool.
So the idea is that we send the files out all at the same time, and then they'll get printed at the same time.
And again, if you want to come and play this, you can sit down and play this at the UK Games Expo this weekend.
Yeah.
Very cool. So yes, as we've gone through, we've got Ruthless there. We've got. I'm gonna get this all over the place now. So we've got this one, which is Pocket Farmer, skillfully done. Boom. We've got Pocket Sub, a little tiny one there, which is very cool indeed. And of course, we've got Dice Hospital, which we looked at first as well. There we go. Which is a very cool game. I believe we saw some of this going through in the press preview on Thursday, and it was really fun seeing this on the tabletop.
Great.
And I said, man, I love dice. Because apparently I roll really well, so hopefully I'll never have to use any of the mitigation things in the game. So. Well, there we go. Yeah. So, what kind of things have you guys got coming up in the future as well? If you've got anything you could talk about. So.
We are in discussions to sign up. We have just signed up a roll and write.
Oh, okay.
But obviously there are a lot of roll and writes out there.
We are seeing a lot of them.
Yeah.
Kickstarter and things.
Exactly.
Like that,
the difference with this one is we wanted it to be a lot meatier. So it's more of a medium weight game.
Interesting.
And it's a dinosaur themed medium weight roll and write.
I love dinosaurs.
So do I.
I can already hear the theme music to Jurassic Park in the back of my head now. It's just an immediate thing that happens. It's crazy, but
and you are literally making your own park.
Oh,
and you're drawing in dinosaurs as well. Yeah.
Man, that sounds like, and when can we expect that to hit as well?
The Kickstarter could be as soon as October. It depends on a few factors, but it's either October, maybe January.
Fantastic. That's something to look out for. And again, we're just going to go back through where are you? What's your booth here at the UK Games Expo?
1B6.
1B6. Yep. So go over to 1B6, check out Dice Hospital, Pocket Sub, Pocket Farmer, and Ruthless if you want to get some piratical deck building as well. Fantastic, Caesar. That was fantastic talking to you as well. As I say, man, we've got this raffle to get this Beacon Sun table that you can see here that we're lovingly sitting behind, and I keep rubbing it as well. It's so nice to sit around. And this is just the top of it. There's even more below this.
Is there?
Sticking to us. Oh yeah, there's like some sneaky.
I'm tempted to open it up.
We'll do it afterwards.
Right.
We'll go off stream so no one can see it. So we're going to ship it away and play some games on it. I think that's the best thing.
Awesome.
But yes, you can get stuck in with that. Go over onto the raffle page at the top of the live blog. Get stuck in there. Answer the very, very simple question. I think it's about £5 for a ticket to get involved with this as well, and you could be running away with an amazing Geek and Sun table. We're also going to be doing some amazing stuff over the rest of the weekend. We're going to be walking around the show floor, talking to guys like Alley Games, talking about what they're doing at their booths, giving away prizes and all kinds of things like that as well. So make sure to check that out. And of course, the live streams out the rest of the day. One of the big things we're going to be doing later on today on Saturday is we're going to be doing a bit of a role-playing session with Greater Than Games, looking at their Essentials of the Multiverse one. So that's going to be really cool. So you get to hear me doing silly voices and Justin looking at me disapprovingly. But of course, why would you not want to do a role-playing game without silly voices?
Have to do that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be back with another bit of the stream very, very soon, and we'll see you guys very, very soon as well.